Welcome back to The Deep Dive. We're the show that gets straight to the insights you need.
That's right.
And today, we're tackling something huge, really vital. Transforming healthcare. Making it better, more effective, more personal.
Absolutely. It's such a complex challenge, making healthcare truly patient-centered, something we all feel the need for.
It's a massive undertaking,
Mhm.
but so essential. We've all heard the stories, right? Seeing the frustrations.
Oh, definitely. Disconnected systems, great ideas that just fizzle out.
Mhm.
Healthcare is this incredibly intricate system, and it often struggles, really struggles, to adapt.
So improving it, making change stick. That needs a robust plan, something adaptable.
And that's exactly what we've got for you today, a really powerful framework.
We're diving into the 3 Agile processes. This comes from the book, The Agile Network.
A groundbreaking book, really.
It is. And it's not just abstract theory. It's a practical blueprint from some sharp minds. Dr. Malaz Boustani, who's a distinguished professor at Indiana University, along with Dr. Richard J. Holden, Dr. Jose Azar, and Dr. Craig A. Solid. Visionaries, really.
Their work gives us a clear path for innovation, for implementation, and, crucially, for spreading those changes, diffusion, even in these super complex healthcare settings.
So our mission today, we're going to unpack these 3 processes: Agile Innovation, Agile Implementation, and Agile Diffusion.
And show how they challenge the old ways of thinking, how they can drive real, lasting change, get past those frustrations we mentioned.
Okay, let's jump in. When we say Agile and healthcare, some people might think software, maybe quick project sprints. How is this different?
Yeah, good question. It's not just a buzzword here. It shares that same iterative, adaptive spirit, definitely.
Okay.
But in healthcare, these agile processes are really practical methods. They're about introducing change that's acceptable, locally customized, and actually works within the system.
So less rigid top-down stuff.
Exactly. Forget the mandates that often just don't land. This is about flexibility, learning, and keeping humans, patients, and staff at the center.
You mentioned it's rooted in complexity science, network science, behavioral economics. How does knowing about chaos theory or cognitive bias actually help a hospital run better? Sounds a bit academic.
Well, that's where the real power lies. A hospital isn't a machine, right? It's a complex, adaptive network. It's living.
A network, like of people and interactions?
Precisely. Every conversation, every decision, it ripples through. Old school mandates often fail because they ignore that complexity.
Okay.
These agile processes, they use insights from those sciences to work with the complexity, focus on feedback, adaptation.
Right. And there are some core principles for all 3 processes. First, feedback loops, but not just formal reports. You mentioned gossip.
Yes, even gossip or, those quick hallway chats. Informal channels are often where the real issues and maybe even solutions pop up.
Interesting.
The goal isn't blame. It's getting timely, non-judgmental, actionable insights, which leads straight to the next point. Psychological safety.
Ah, yes. Feeling safe to speak up.
Critical.
Yeah.
Everyone, like clinicians, admin, patients, needs to feel okay giving and getting feedback, even direction, without fear. If they don't feel safe, that informal feedback just disappears.
And you lose vital information.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But building that safety, say, in a hectic ER, that sounds tough.
Oh, it is. It takes real effort. Clear communication, leaders who show vulnerability, who respond well to feedback. It's about showing feedback is for improvement, not attack.
Okay, another principle that jumped out, the good enough philosophy. In healthcare, isn't the goal always perfection? How is good enough actually better?
It sounds wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But chasing perfection often leads to getting stuck. Paralysis.
Right.
The book argues for a minimally viable prototype, just enough to test an idea. Think of it like building a car. You wouldn't wait years to perfect every bolt before a test drive.
You'd start simpler.
Exactly. Build a skateboard, test it. Add handlebars, test it. That's the agile way. Fail fast, fail early, fail cheaply. It ramps up learning and cuts the cost of mistakes.
Okay. Fail fast, fail cheaply. I like that. And that ties into fostering good enough information flow, especially through network hubs and local communities.
Yes, those hubs, the really connected people or teams and the local groups, are key conduits for that rapid feedback and improvement.
So pulling this together, applying these principles means shifting away from rigid control.
Fundamentally, moving towards an adaptive learning system that actually responds to what's happening on the ground, building a system that learns like the best teams do.
Okay, let's zoom in on the first process, Agile Innovation. We have the principles. Where does innovation actually start in this huge system? Is it about some brand new invention?
That's the common idea, but agile innovation here is defined a bit differently. It's the action or process of innovating, specifically to make changes in something established.
Uh-huh.
Especially by introducing new methods, ideas, or products,
Mm.
it's often about adjacent innovation.
Adjacent innovation, meaning,
Matching existing solutions to unsolved problems, often just combining old ideas in new ways, connecting dots that were already there, just not linked.
that makes so much sense. Avoiding reinventing the wheel. What helps unlock that?
Diversity. Simple as that. Diversity in thought, experience, interactions, get different people talking.
Different perspectives sparking ideas.
Exactly. And interestingly, innovation often blooms where resources are tight. Necessity really is the mother of invention sometimes. It forces creativity.
Right, you have to be clever.
And the book gives us an 8-step process for this, split into planning and execution, makes it efficient.
Okay, planning stage. Step 1, confirm demand. Not just a vague hope.
Right. Definitely not. Define the specific problem, execution, efficiency, discovery. And what's the real value in solving it? Is it truly needed?
Got it. Then study the problem. What does that look like?
Investigating the current state, observing, talking to frontline folks, understanding the core needs and how the system actually works right now. Focus on the critical issues.
Next, scan for solutions. Back to that adjacent innovation idea.
Absolutely. Actively look around what exists already, maybe in other industries, even informal workarounds people have developed locally. Cross-pollinate ideas.
Avoid the not invented here syndrome.
Precisely. And finally, for planning. Plan evaluation and termination. Setting exit criteria, yes, seems counterintuitive to plan for termination at the start, but it's core Agile. Know when to keep going, nurture it, or pull the plug. That's the fail fast, fail cheaply part again. Learn and pivot. Don't throw good money after bad.
Okay, planning done. Now, execution. Step 5, ideate and select. Brainstorming time.
Yep. Encourage broad thinking, first brainstorming, crowdsourcing, get lots of ideas out, then narrow down to the best candidates, quantity, then quality.
Then perform innovation sprints, like agile software sprints.
Very similar concept. Test the top ideas as prototypes. Quick cycle, low fidelity to high fidelity. Build that minimally viable product. Test, get feedback, refine, repeat.
Then validate solutions. How's this different from the sprints?
Validation is more rigorous testing on the remaining few. Is it effective, usable, desirable? And critically watch for unintended consequences when it hits the real complex system.
Good point. And the final step. Package for launch. What's in the package?
It's essentially a handoff kit. Business plan, clear specs, makes it ready for local teams to pick up and deploy. Think user manual meets sales pitch.
So agile innovation is key when there isn't a proven solution or you need to tweak one.
Exactly. If a solid evidence-based solution already exists, you can often jump straight to the next process, Agile Implementation.
So for you listening, this systematic approach turns potential chaos into a structured learning journey. It ensures solutions are valuable and tested, ready for those real healthcare challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next up, Agile Implementation, bringing solutions to life in practice. This tackles the variations in healthcare orgs, right? Across time, hierarchies.
Exactly. And the complex web of individual interactions, the constant need for systems to adapt, nothing stays static in healthcare.
And there's this key role, the Agile Implementation Agent. Sounds important.
Very. They can be internal or external, but need training, respect, authority. Skills in conflict resolution, emotional intelligence are crucial. They're the guides, navigating the technical and the human side of change.
Okay, the implementation process also has 8 steps. Starts with identify opportunities, confirming demand again.
Yes, similar to innovation, but focused on a specific solution now. Need leadership and frontline agreement on need and resources. Buy-in is key from the start.
Then identify evidence-based healthcare services, getting specific about the science.
Right. Selecting solutions that are rigorously tested, clinically proven, and promote that quadruple aim we talked about.
Quality, access, cost efficiency, patient-centered care. Got it.
And they use techniques like priming and anchoring here to kind of get everyone focused on those shared goals.
Lever. Then develop evaluation and termination plans. Again, with the exit strategy.
It's consistent. How will success be tracked, measured? When might we stop if it's not working or the financial impact isn't there? Accountability and learning. Avoid zombie projects.
Makes sense. Next, assemble a team to develop a minimally viable service, localizing the solution.
Yes, adapting the evidence-based practice to the specific local context. But, and this is important, preserving the core features that make it effective. Adapt, don't dilute.
Then the core. Perform implementation sprints. Short, intense testing cycles with staff feedback.
Exactly. And this is where behavioral economics gets really interesting, using cognitive biases, nudges, choice architecture.
Okay, tell me more. How does that work?
Well, for example, using environmental cues, maybe posters near workstations or smart alerts in the electronic health record, can prime staff to follow a new protocol.
Subtle prompts.
Right. Or structuring incentives around loss avoidance instead of gain seeking. People hate losing something more than they like gaining something new. It taps into how we're wired, works with human nature.
Fascinating. Okay, after sprints, monitor implementation performance, tracking how it's going.
Yes, using feedback loops. Is the team sticking to the plan? Fidelity? How's it performing? Discuss lessons learned, address team dynamics, keep it on track.
And also, monitor whole system performance. Look beyond the immediate team.
Crucial. Check the impact on the whole organization. Are there unexpected benefits or problems? This step also fights that status quo bias, the tendency to slip back by creating dedicated time for the new way.
Keep the momentum.
And finally, develop a minimally standardized operating procedure, documenting the final version. Yes, for scaling and future use, but recognizing it's a living document, it will be updated as you learn more.
So implementation isn't just rolling something out, it's transforming evidence into practice by working with the system and human nature.
Perfectly put.
All right, third process, Agile Diffusion. Spreading the knowledge, spreading the change. And this challenges old ideas about how things spread.
It really does. The traditional view, like Rogers' diffusion of innovations, pictured this neat S-curve for adoption. Slow start, fast growth, leveling off, assumed a sort of random spread.
Like ripples in a pond.
Kind of. But the insight here is that real social networks, especially in healthcare, are often power law networks. They aren't random.
Power law.
Yeah. Meaning you have hubs, a few individuals or groups with tons of connections, way more than average, and the links aren't random.
And that changes everything for diffusion.
Dramatically. Information can spread way faster and wider through these hubs. That S-curve becomes much steeper, much faster.
So these hubs are key.
Absolutely critical. They're often the first exposed, and they can be super spreaders or super stoppers of an innovation. Their influence is huge.
You mentioned mapping the network structure involves things like clustering coefficient or power law exponent. For listeners not deep in network science, what do those tell you practically?
Great question. Think of clustering coefficient like how cliquey a department or team is. Do most people in that group know each other? High clustering means yes. It tells you about local density.
Okay, so how tight-knit a group is.
Right, and the power law exponent helps quantify how dominant those hubs are. How skewed is the network towards having a few super connected individuals? Knowing this isn't just academic.
It tells you where information might flow easily or get stuck.
Exactly. It helps you strategize who needs to hear the message, who can amplify it, and maybe where the bottlenecks are. It informs your communication plan.
And adoption isn't just hearing about it once. It needs complex diffusion.
Yes, often it requires repeated exposure, hearing about it from multiple people in your network who've already adopted it. That social reinforcement is key, seeing your peers use it.
Which links to that idea of helping it happen, not forcing it, not just waiting for it.
Precisely. Greenhoff et al.'s concept. It's an active strategic process, especially for complex changes in behavior. Mandates often backfire here.
So, the 5 steps for Agile Diffusion. First, deeply understand the complex adaptive network. That mapping sounds intensive.
It is meticulous. Map the structure, identify hubs, communities, bridges between groups, estimate those network properties, nodes, links, path length, clustering, the power law exponent. It's like creating a social blueprint.
A social GPS, you called it earlier. Then develop agile feedback loops, embedding sensors.
Yes, sensors could be surveys, observations, maybe designated people who act as listeners or navigators within the network. The point is to constantly monitor what's happening, how the network itself might be changing, continuous listening.
Third, constantly profile various messengers. It matters who delivers the message.
Hugely. Understand their profile, their emotions, who they connect with, what channels work best for them, email, face-to-face newsletters. Tailor the messenger to the audience and the hub or community.
Fourth, create a minimally viable story. Storytelling for innovation.
Absolutely. Craft a narrative. Who's the villain, the problem? Who's the hero, the solution? What's the struggle, the resolution? Give people the why. Make it relatable, emotional, personalizable.
And finally, start various experiments and sprints to test the story. iterate on the story itself.
Yes. Test different versions of the story, different messengers, different channels within specific communities or hubs. See what resonates, what actually drives diffusion. Refine based on feedback.
Which brings it back to you, the listener. How can you use these ideas, spreading good ideas in your world, leveraging networks and stories?
It's a powerful question. How can you become a better change agent using these principles?
So bringing these three together, innovation, implementation, diffusion, that's the Agile network framework,
Yeah.
a whole system approach.
That's the synergy. And critical rule overarching all of this, create market demand before you distribute the innovation. Build the pull.
Make people want it. How do you do that?
Two strategies work in parallel. Zoom out. Big picture changes. New rules for the whole network. New system-wide goals. Think alternative payment models that reward value.
Changing the environment.
Right. And then zoom in. Local, grassroots efforts. Empowering patients as consumers, leveraging their social networks, personalized bottom-up approaches.
Meeting people where they are.
And always remembering. The user's perceived value is what matters most. Patient or provider. Not just what the innovator thinks is valuable.
So innovators need to be or partner with choice architects and network scientists.
They really do. Understand behavior, understand networks.
This whole integrated approach, understanding networks, biases, systems, plus shared decision-making. That's the key to real healthcare transformation.
That's the blueprint laid out in the book. A network of change agents working together, preventing the kind of suffering that motivated the authors in the first place.
So there you have it. The 3 Agile processes, a dynamic, human-centered way to revolutionize healthcare, making it more responsive, efficient, compassionate.
It's about leveraging how humans actually interact, how systems actually work to build something better, something that adapts and thrives, turning frustration into positive change.
And for you listening, think about the complex networks in your own work, your community. Where do you see them?
And how could applying these Agile principles, innovation, implementation, diffusion, empower you to be a more effective agent for change? Not just reacting, but shaping the future.
A huge thank you again to the authors, Dr. Malaz Boustani, Dr. Richard J. Holden, Dr. Jose Azar, and Dr. Craig A. Solid at Indiana University. Their work in the Agile Network gives us such a powerful roadmap.
Truly valuable insights.
We hope this deep dive has equipped you with some powerful ideas for making a difference. Thanks for joining us.